What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Trading back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Ethena, Uniswap, and Aave. These three cryptos have been pumping a lot over the last 24 hours, and I'm sure you all want to know where they're headed next. Are they going to go higher? Are they going lower? Why are they pumping? That kind of stuff. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, guys, do keep in mind nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal crypto analysis, my personal crypto trading strategy, let's say. And if you guys have a different opinion, different analysis, different strategy, honestly, that's awesome. The more difference of opinion we have, the better traders, the better investors we're all going to become. So with that being said, guys, let's dive right into it. Of course, we have to ask, why is Ethena pumping? This time around, it's not something that can actually be quite easily found in the, typically we will look at like, the Twitter/X feed. But this is something that happened a little bit of a while back, and it's kind of like a catalyst that's been coming up, let's say, something that was announced a while ago. And this is basically that Ethena is going to be introducing a fee switch. This is going to be coming into force in 2 days. Basically, today's the 28th, and it's going to be coming into force on the 30th. So at least until the 30th, I imagine that Ethena is going to be rallying until then. And to be honest, guys, it's possible that the ENA token could continue rallying after the fee switch goes into play. I don't want to get too much into the details here, but basically Ethena is basically going to be probably the most profitable DeFi protocol. The way that it's designed, it basically takes all these traders that are going long on exchanges. Ethena basically is able to capture a portion of those fees. It's very I know it's like super watered down explanation, but when the markets are rallying, obviously everyone's going long, like they're betting the prices will go up. And to make these bets, like to go long, to make these bets that crypto prices will go up, they have to pay fees. And the way that Ethena is designed is it basically captures a portion of these fees and basically gives that over to holders of Ethena's USDE stablecoin, which is why the yields are so crazy. And basically the ENA token will now be able to capture a portion of these fees that are being generated. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if ENA just starts melting up after this fee switch goes into play. That during bear markets, something like this would mark like a local top, like this kind of catalyst. But I think, and now that we're entering kind of like this altcoin bull market, especially in DeFi, you're going to see ENA, I think, just start melting up. So this ties really nicely into the chart here, guys. So we can see, well, I guess we'll take it from the top. In terms of the target math, the starting point is quite clearly around 35 cents. The resistance is around 70 cents. And of course, the difference there is around 35 cents. So we basically take the resistance, we add the difference, and that gives us a target of $1.05, $1.05. And we can go back in time here, guys, to June, and you can see that $1.05 is roughly where ENA topped before. So that it's not, and even if we go back further, you can see that this was a strong zone of resistance on the way up around $1.05, $1.07. So it wouldn't be surprising at all to see ENA start stalling out. Of course, right now it's just above that resistance level. So, maybe we need to see one more day, maybe 2 more days, consistent with basically the trigger of this fee switch. And that's probably when ENA will start melting up to this target, which is going to be a gain of, from current prices around 45%, which is not too shabby. But if we do see kind of like some black swan or something unexpected come, it's possible ENA could get rejected from this resistance level and fall as low as 50 cents. So do keep that in mind. That would be a downside of almost 30%. So just do keep that in mind. And yeah, guys, if you, I can't remember if we covered ENA earlier. Honestly, guys, like there's so many things on the go. I don't remember all the details of all the videos that I've done. But last time I covered ENA, whether it was here or somewhere else, basically I was eyeing this target around 65 cents. And of course, ENA got above that, and now it's basically it's getting ready basically for another leg higher. And I do think that this is a DeFi crypto you don't want to be sleeping on. A lot of people compare Ethena to kind of like a Terra, especially like the way it's designed is completely different. But I do think that the concerns are justified. Again, not going to get into the details there, guys. You can check out our review on the main channel, our Ethena review on the main channel. But long story short, I do think that ENA is going to see a very, very big gain during this crypto bull market. I do think that this is something that could go, it sounds crazy, but this is a crypto that could go between 20 or 30x between here and the top. Again, it's not going to happen overnight. Same like these gains, this 50% gain is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take at least a couple of weeks. Again, we're always on the daily chart here, guys. So just do keep that in mind. These gains, they might sound amazing, but it takes time for them to come. And if you're not able to hold them, then you're never going to get them. Anyways, guys, so with that being said, as you might have noticed, we were on Bybit there. And of course, the Coin Bureau deals page is an awesome deal for Bybit, up to $60,000 in rewards. And of course, we have trading fee discounts on Blowfin, OKX, KuCoin, and Binance. Of course, these are like, basically the 3 top crypto exchanges, I would say, besides like Coinbase and these guys. And these are deals that we have, again, down in the description. It doesn't cost you a thing to take advantage of them. You literally just go into the deal and click the sign up now button. It takes 2 seconds. And again, it doesn't cost you a thing. Of course, if to take full advantage of these deals, you do need to have like quite a bit of money. But even if you have just a few $1,000s and you're trading frequently, those trading fee even just a few $100s, those trading fee discounts will help you a lot. Again, it doesn't cost you a thing. The exchange gets a new user, we get a cut of your trading fees, and you get a trading fee discount. So it's a win-win-win. So take advantage of that using the link in the description while those deals are still around. Anyways, guys, now moving on to Uniswap. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. The reason why Uni's pumping is pretty complex, I would say. So Uniswap, like they basically announced their own kind of like layer 2. They have their own chain that's coming up. There's a whole bunch of like, I guess, technical developments. Then there's kind of like a regulatory development now that you guys might have heard that basically there was a court case against these guys who made a crypto project called Tornado Cash. It was basically a privacy protocol on Ethereum, which is very well designed. Like I remember reviewing it, or I guess like putting together the research for that in the last cycle, and we actually reviewed it on the main channel. And Tornado Cash was very well designed. It even had like these like voluntary compliance tools built in and everything. But apparently that wasn't enough. I guess because it was truly uncontrollable, they had to kind of crack down on it. Let's say. And the result was that basically the courts basically went after these developers and basically said that because your code was used by criminals, then you can be held liable. But basically the Court of Appeals here basically ruled that that's just ridiculous, which obviously it is. It's like you can't hold people liable. If you make an application and someone downloads that application, they use it, I don't know, to like blow up a building or something. You can't blame the person who made the application, right? So that's the same reasoning kind of that was explained here. And this has been a huge relief, I guess, to people in DeFi because a lot of people in DeFi have been super concerned. Is like I really want to build this thing, I really want to build this new product, but I'm scared that someone bad is going to use it and then I'm going to end up in jail like these guys. And of course, this case is still ongoing. These guys are still fighting this case, I can't. I think I will. I was gonna say I can't really like endorse saying like you should like donate money or whatever. But if you're someone who's in DeFi, especially if you're a crypto builder, this is an important case that's still going on, and you should look into donating. To be honest, I'm not sure how to do it. I just know that there's a lot of kind of funds and initiatives that are donating money and trying to help these guys out in their legal defense. So if you're someone who's building in crypto, this is something you need to care about and something that you should consider even contributing some money to. I haven't done so personally because I'm not a developer. I mean, that sounds brutal, but it depends on your incentives, I guess. Whether DeFi exists or not doesn't change the fact that I'm going to be making some money. Anyways, guys, moving on to Uni here. So we can see that Uni's chart is looking pretty damn bullish. Not surprising at all. Sorry, the other factor I forgot to mention there, guys, is that there's a lot of flows coming into Ethereum's ecosystem, and of course, Uniswap is the top DEX on Ethereum, and so you could probably see quite a bit of funds basically starting to trade on Uniswap. Of course, the trading volume has been spiking recently. That's not surprising at all. So even just by that fact alone, I think Uni is going to be pumping quite a bit. Plus all the other developments that I just mentioned. So with that being said, the starting point is around $7, resistance around $13, difference there is $6. So of course we take the resistance, we add the difference, and we get a price target around $19, which makes sense. It's like just below this key psychological level of $20. That's a gain of potentially 45% to the upside. Similarly to ENA, like Uniswap is fighting with this resistance level, and it's probably going to need a day or two of closing to get above. And who knows, maybe there's going to be another big announcement or something coming out that really gets it above there. But honestly, guys, I think that the inflows into Ethereum's ecosystem will be sufficient to kind of like drive the Uni token higher, if that makes any sense. So with that being said, this ties very nicely into Aave. So Aave, guys, of course, is the top DeFi lending and borrowing protocol, and it's very popular, of course, in Ethereum's ecosystem. And this is where things get a little bit complicated, but also very interesting. Basically, guys, the amount of leverage, the amount of DeFi TVL leverage, whatever you want to call it, is very closely correlated to Ethereum's price, which makes sense, right? Like Ethereum is used for all the trading in Uniswap. Ethereum is also used as collateral in these DeFi protocols. So when Ethereum's price rises, then people will basically deposit their like Ethereum whales specifically. They deposit their Ethereum and then they borrow against this Ethereum and invest in altcoins. This is one thing, guys. Like a lot of people talk about, oh, there's going to be no rotation. There's going to be no rotation out of Bitcoin, no rotation out of Ethereum. But you guys forget that people with a lot of money, they actually don't rotate. They don't sell. They keep what they have and they borrow against it. Like this is how the rich people get richer and everything, but of course, for us, like retail investors, we forget that it's like, the way that we do it is we have, like a few $1,000s of Bitcoin and we rotate that into altcoins, which, I would personally not advise. But that being said, is like the way that we think about it, the way the average person thinks about it is in terms of rotation, but that's not actually how it works. The biggest crypto whales are borrowing against their crypto. And this is where Aave is, the most important because it's the most battle tested, the largest, the most best known DeFi protocol. And this is where things get very interesting, guys. Of course, now that Ethereum's been rallying, that Bitcoin's been rallying, there's wrapped Bitcoin on Aave that people are borrowing against. Now with Ethereum and Bitcoin rallying, there's been a lot of borrowing. You can see starting basically in October, specifically around the election, you can see there was a huge surge, which is super fascinating. There's a huge spike in borrowing by almost $1 billion in like that 24 hours on Aave. That doesn't include Compound and these other DeFi borrowing lending protocols. That tells you that all these crypto whales, they got the message. oh man, like, it's coming and it's time to start borrowing and speculating in altcoins. And it's no surprise at all, guys, that we've seen an altcoin rally. Of course, that's, multi factors as well there, like in terms of, there was like some leverage, like short squeezes. There was like the, people knowing that like good regulations are coming down the pipe and all this type of stuff. But another contributing factor that everyone forgets about is this DeFi leverage. The moment that crypto whales saw that things are going to be good for altcoins, they all started borrowing in these DeFi protocols and they started buying into these altcoins. Like that's why it's, a big contributing factor, in my opinion, why many altcoins, especially in Ethereum's ecosystem, have been pumping so much. And Aave is kind of like the main hub for this liquidity, if that makes any sense. Anyways, guys, and I guess the most important thing here to keep in mind as well is that Aave has actually surpassed just slightly by like $100 million, or I guess, well, close to $1 billion. It's surpassed its previous all-time high in TVL, which was set in October 2021. And some would say it's not appropriate to do technical analysis on DeFi TVL, but when you remember that a lot of this TVL comes from basically like this Bitcoin and Ethereum that's being used as collateral, like it traces basically the broader state of the crypto market more generally, we're about to see a very sizable increase, like potentially close to a doubling in Aave's TVL in the next coming weeks here. And like, what do you think that's going to do when you have an extra 5, 10, $20 billion borrowed and invested into altcoins? What do you think that's going to do to the altcoins? Anyways, guys, I've been saying this now for weeks, that the risk is skewed to the upside and altcoins are about to pump, and it's finally happening. It took a little bit longer than I thought, but it's here. Anyways, guys, on that note, we can move on to Aave here. And the chart, it's really annoying. I'll just quickly say as a side note, it's really annoying that like people look at Aave and they say, oh, the price tag is so big, like there's no way it's going to pump. And it's like, man, does no one remember this year in finance from the last cycle? It was literally worth more than Bitcoin and it kept pumping. It was worth like 67,000 or 69,000 or something. This Wi-Fi token, it was another DeFi token. But it's just, the sad reality, I guess, guys, that a lot of retail investors who don't know what they're really doing, they see what's pumping. They're like, and they kind of like do like a quick read. It's like, oh, like this, like, it's like a decentralized bank. Aave is a decentralized bank. But like, but it's so expensive. It's like, $130 or $200 or whatever the price is, right? Like maybe I'm going to go find something else that has like a lower price tag. Unfortunately, this is how a lot of retail investors think, which is why I kind of like put Aave at the end of this video. If you made it this far, then you're probably someone who's, not paying too close attention to the price tag, and you actually understand all this technical analysis to some extent, and you're looking for a little bit of guidance, or at least a second opinion, let's say. So with that being said, guys, the starting point here is $130. Resistance quite clearly around $200. Aave is already kind of above that, but you can see it's kind of like coming down to like retest it. And of course, the difference there is $70. So we take the resistance, we add the difference, that gives us a target of $270, which is around a 35% upside from here. Again, like this makes sense, like considering that's, like again, Aave is not one of these cryptos that like retail investors are going to be going crazy over. Unfortunately, like fortunately or unfortunately, I do think like Ethena is going to be the one that kind of captures a lot of this value because the price tag is lower. Like it sounds really stupid, guys, but that's like, as I say to our members in the Coin Bureau Club, like the kind of like the top 5 things to pay attention to is number 1, the price tag of a crypto, the size of the market cap, whether most of the supply is in circulation, is it listed on exchanges, and of course, even if something's not listed on exchanges now, it probably will be after. And then the final factor, guys, is the narrative. Like, is this something that the average person can understand? Can you understand decentralized lending and borrowing? Can you understand flash loans? Unfortunately, guys, there's a small percentage of people who understand that. Even like, the smartest people in the world, you try and explain this to them, they'll probably be like, what? Anyways, guys, but that being said, that brings us to the Coin Bureau Club that I was just mentioning. Of course, this is our kind of like a premium club for like, the diehard fans of the Coin Bureau. We do weekly altcoin reviews of altcoins that our members vote on. Kind of keeps us objective and also keeps things interesting for us, because if we were just the ones that were picking altcoins, besides the fact that we'd be accused of like shilling, if we were the ones picking the altcoins we reviewed, then it'd be kind of boring because we kind of already know what we're going to be looking at, right? But if we're compiling this list of basically, thanks to you guys, we're compiling these lists of like promising altcoins, or thanks to the Coin Bureau Club members, we're compiling these lists of promising altcoins and we're putting them out for polls. And and even we don't know what we're going to expect when we start digging into those cryptos. And sometimes we find some really awesome stuff because our Coin Bureau Club members know how to do their research. You know who you are. Anyways, guys, of course, as I just mentioned, we have like this voting research feed where I'm posting insights every single day, and other researchers here at the Coin Bureau are posting almost every single day, some really nice insights into like meme coins and stuff like that, if that's what you're into. Shout out to Kevin on that front. And of course, and then I guess I showcase my personal crypto portfolio as does the rest of the team, as well as the cryptos that we're watching. And of course, we have some exclusive deals, that you won't find anywhere else, like that we managed to secure with some partners, whether it's like hardware wallets or like other like let's say like research websites and stuff like that. And of course, last but not least, we do have a members Discord where you can kind of discuss and ask us questions and stuff like that. And with that being said, of course, guys, if you made it this far, then you're probably waiting for that crypto alpha, and I'm gonna deliver. So get ready, like drum roll, please. Anyways, guys, the one thing I wanted to say is, like, similarly to yesterday, how I was saying that, you know, we really have to start paying attention to what's going on in Ethereum, or maybe that was the day before. Honestly, guys, I don't remember. We really have to pay attention to what's going on with Ethereum, especially in the DeFi area. You know, it's also important to remember that, you know, Ethereum's kind of like ecosystem doesn't stop at DeFi. Another big thing in Ethereum is, of course, NFTs, and I know NFTs are ridiculous. Like, I completely understand it, but you have to, like, nonetheless, guys, keep in mind that a lot of money is going to be flowing into NFTs, and I do think that's going to cause an NFT boom, not just on Ethereum but on other chains. Of course, the NFTs on Ethereum are like ridiculously expensive, but like on other chains like Solana, or even like I know it sounds crazy, guys, but some of the CoinDura Club members will know I actually added a Doge stone, like for Dogecoin, like a Doge stone NFT, like the same way that the same way that Bitcoin has rune stones. Basically, someone launched like a Doge stone thing, and it's kind of like, well, if you want to make a bet on like a higher risk, higher reward bet on Dogecoin, then, like, you know, try a Doge stone. Like, that's my reasoning. I'm not saying it's correct, but it's one of these things where basically these NFTs, guys, fundamentally they're higher risk, higher reward bet on the underlying crypto. So the reason why these guys buy CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club and whatever is because they kind of, it's like a 2x factor. Basically, they, when Ethereum's price goes up, then the price of these NFT collections goes up, but then the value of the NFT collections also goes up in ETH terms. So it's like 2x factor. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyways, guys, like, this is something that you should be watching, not just on Ethereum but other chains, especially on Bitcoin. I would say, of all the chains, I think that you know, one of the kind of key selling points of CryptoPunks, one of the key selling points, sorry guys, of NFTs is that they're kind of like, you know, permanent, immutable. They're on blockchains that can never be changed. But the most permanent and immutable blockchain that's out there is Bitcoin. So for, you know, for NFT holders who are really serious about like holding long term, you know, I think that they're going to be migrating, or I guess focusing on Bitcoin, because you can know with even higher certainty than Ethereum that if you have an NFT on Bitcoin, that is probably going to last for potentially for longer than the NFT on Ethereum, especially with all the competition that Ethereum is facing, all this kind of stuff. Long-winded way of saying, guys, pay attention to NFTs. You're even seeing people starting to borrow against NFTs the same way that they're borrowing against their ETH and BTC to like speculate in altcoins. So this is a space to watch, and there's a lot of really cool alpha. And of course, you know, I could keep going on there, and I'll just hint, kind of like as a way to kind of motivate you guys to sign up for the Coin Bureau Club. There's actually a meme coin in my portfolio that I hold that's related to CryptoPunks. If you know which one it is, feel free to drop a comment down in the down below. But there's basically a meme coin that's related to CryptoPunks. It's completely off the radar, that no one even knows exists. I picked it up a few months back, and I'm sitting patiently because I have a feeling that this is something that's going to spring up as soon as NFTs become a big narrative. You're going to see a huge rally in this meme coin that's related to CryptoPunks, and of course that's the largest NFT collection on Ethereum. So with all that being said, guys, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.